So since you clicked on this video, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that you've played Dayz before, or maybe you're just into Dayz and you haven't played it. If not, then just pick it up if you can. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about some of the different builds, because if you can't tell, there kind of is some strategy to Dayz, believe it or not. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about doing a stealth slash kind of like a quick build, like where you can move fast on your feet and not get stuck down in one place, and outrun enemies if you need to, things like that. So let's go ahead and talk about some of that. So just like with any other build, you're gonna need your food and your water. My only real thing about this is don't overdo it on the food and water, obviously. So maybe 2 cans of beans or canned spaghetti or something like that. None of the smaller things, because I don't know, you just don't get as much out of those as you could from something a little bit bigger. So I highly recommend the canned beans or the canned spaghetti, something like that. And for water, maybe 1 plastic bottle or 1 full canteen at all times. Maybe if you want to carry a soda just in case, that's not a bad idea. That could work out very nicely for you actually in a bad situation. Clothes I completely leave up to you and whatever your imagination wants. I only recommend things that kind of blend in with the environment, so no bright colors, no like yellows or orange or red or even white, because you can be seen from quite a distance away. Something that makes you just kind of blend into everything, because even though the grass isn't rendered, you could still kind of try to blend in with some of the trees that have rendered in, or it's maybe a few bushes, something like that. So it's always good to try to keep that in mind whenever you're looting. Alright, next we'll go ahead and talk about what I know all of you have been waiting for, and some of these might be kind of obvious, others might not be obvious. So, you don't want to pack heavy, so no shotguns or anything like that. I highly recommend only submachine guns, or things that you can kind of maneuver pretty easily with, things that don't weigh a whole lot. You could get away with something like an assault rifle if you really wanted to. It's just it's just however you want to play it, however you want your stamina to be as full. Maybe you only need about half, maybe you need about 75%. I highly recommend probably running maybe an MP5 or a UMP with a suppressor if you can find it. And as a secondary, I'm recommending a smaller melee, so things like knives or hand axes, things like that. Something you can get away with having pretty easily. Not like a giant sledgehammer or even like a cutting axe, something like that. It's not really going to work out well for you. It'd be it'd just be too heavy. You need something kind of like a silenced pistol or something like that, so that way you're not too loud, but other players will still be able to hear you. Don't get me wrong, you'll still be able to be heard, but the chances are a lot less likely of them hearing a silenced pistol compared to a loud swing of the axe. But that's just my opinion. I can hear the axe a lot easier than I can with things like a silenced pistol, or even like silenced guns in general. Just in my opinion, they're a lot harder to hear and notice than when you hear a zombie get hit by like a sledge or a cutting axe, something like that. I don't really recommend vests unless you want to use it instead of backpacks. Something like a I think it's a UK assault vest that you can carry quite a good bit with. Something like that isn't really that bad. But when you get to like a ballistic vest, yeah, you get a lot of protection, but that's also a lot of weight gone, so you're just not going to be able to move around as quickly as you want to or should be able to. So like I said, any of these can be changed out. So like I was talking about how maybe you want a pistol or something small, you could go a little bigger. And then with your main gun, you could go a little smaller. It's just however you want to play it. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, and we're going to go ahead and do just a quick little recap. So, try to keep the gun small, maybe 1 main gun, 1 little sidearm. And if you do use a sidearm, maybe you don't need the melee as long as that sidearm has a suppressor on it. But considering if you can't find bullets, it's completely understandable that you'd rather just have the melee. Just something easier than having to go find your 308 rounds or ACP rounds that you can't find, just something like that. Try not to overdo it on food and water, as tempting as it may be to try and carry 3 or 4 cans of food with you and maybe 2 full water bottles just in case you can't make it to a water well in time. It's probably a lot better for you to take your chances with that and go ahead and test it, so that way you can save the stamina just in case you need to get out of a bad situation, or in case you want to flank in a pretty quick manner. And just like with the other things with ammo, try not to go too crazy. 2 mags for each is plenty. Don't try to hoard bullets for all kinds of different guns, because you probably more than likely won't end up using them. They'll just end up sitting there, and then whenever you do eventually die like everyone else does, or your character gets reset, then you're out of it. So really just try to limit yourself. Don't pick up every single thing. Like, don't pick up Mosin ammo if you're not going to be using a Mosin. Try to just stick with what you know and what you're going to be playing your character as, and just try to keep it as simple as you can, while still being realistic. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Like I said before, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any preferred equipment you like to use instead. Maybe you want to switch out a few things here and there. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. In the next few videos, I should say, we're going to be talking about not a stealth build like this one, but instead a sniper build. And then after that, we're going to be talking about a tank. So, those that you just want to loot up, take whatever you can. But there still is a strategy to it, as I almost fall to my death. But there still is a strategy to it, believe it or not. And we're going to go ahead and be talking about that. So yeah, if you want to stick around and find out what that is, hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate each and every one of you, and peace.